Nice, nice. Now I want to get into your expertise a little bit. We have a segment that we call Entrepreneur Secrets. So, um, what is the secret? This might be too big. What is the secret to setting up a proper sales infrastructure?
Yeah, so setting up a proper sales infrastructure requires knowing what your client or team, if you have a team, needs if you're working, as a direct sales manager. But from a fractional VP of sales perspective, it means going in and doing deep dive discovery, doing assessments and then more assessments, during the first few weeks or month, and then coming up with a custom sales playbook that that starts. It really does go A to Z, and it starts with doing research up front on your clients or prospects to make sure you're identifying the right opportunities and going after those, and then prospecting, working on pitches to get those down, handling the objections that inevitably come, and then when you get your first meeting, creating qualifying form or qualifying forms with questions that you're going to be asking. And the goal of that is to come up with three value propositions at the end, not for yourself. You got to know your own value prop, but for the client. And then when you get your next meeting to do a presentation and maybe the final meeting or maybe one of final meetings, you're building your PowerPoint, which you already have a framework for template, but you're customizing it to them and then reviewing those key value props for them and finding if there are new people in the room, you got to find out does anyone else have anything to add, but then building your presentation around that and then reviewing that again at the end, because now and then asking a lot of open-ended questions. When someone focuses on something or says something that is important to them, a lot of people just gloss over it and then go on with their presentation. Sometimes that one key issue is critical, and then asking, and this is a Sandler technique, taking people into the pain funnel, is asking second and third level questions. How has that impacted you? Tell me more about that, because now they're starting to own their own problems. And then later on, you can review that at the end if you're dealing with objections about this or that. You can kind of use their own words and bring that in and help move the process forward. From that point on, once then go into the close, which I don't like to look at the close as an event. It's really more of a process and a logical transition into the next step. But you will oftentimes face different objections. So then objection there becomes important. And then, closing the deal, obviously. And then the next critical stage is onboarding and making sure you've got like a 2-3 week process where you're very active in making sure that they're getting everything they are and getting, acclimated to the new product or service. And then maintaining a routine, ongoing for that client, like I mentioned before, so that you're building up trust. They know you, they like you, they trust you. And then being able to get referrals, being able to get upsells and so forth. And of course, keeping them as a client. You want
That's
to have
right.
your, especially in a SaaS model, everything is about annual recurring revenue, and it's not recurring if it doesn't renew.
That's true. So two